Yo guys, what is up? Biocriminal Moments on here, and welcome to a Star Wars The Force Awakens weekly news roundup. So instead of making a ton of tiny little episodes to cover all the snippets of information we got this week, instead I decided to compile all of these pieces of information into one slightly larger and longer episode. So this week we got a couple of TV spots and other news articles, as well as some articles from Entertainment Weekly, including some new pictures. So, in this episode, I will be covering all of the new information that we've got. Some of it is just new scenes from the trailers and the TV spots. Others are new pictures that kind of explain some mysteries that have been circulating through the internet. So first off, we are going to be reviewing some of the stuff from Entertainment Weekly. So in this first picture, we see Kylo Ren in the forest, like we've seen before, but this time something that's new is we see Rey is there. So in the very first trailer, the very first trailer that we ever saw for The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren stalks into the Force and activates his new and weird lightsaber that everybody was super confused about. And we were all like, who is he fighting in the forest? And then later on we saw that Finn activates the lightsaber and is actually confronting Kylo Ren in the forest. But little did we know that Rey was also present in this scene. But now we know that. So that's kind of a cool little snippet of information. But I don't know if it's going to really do much in the overall storyline. Just something new that we hadn't known before. Now, this picture, we see Finn in his Stormtrooper armor confronting Poe in handcuffs, and they look like they're on one of the Imperial Star Destroyers, or the First Order Star Destroyers, and this may be how Finn ends up leaving the First Order. I'm thinking that he helps Poe escape or something, and we end up, that is how we see Finn join up with Rey on Jakku, and all the rest of the story ensues. But this also clears up a mystery if you watch some of my previous episodes about the jacket. So as you can see, Poe is wearing this leather jacket with red on the shoulders and stuff, and I have a bit of a thing about this jacket. I don't know why. It's just kind of a personal mystery with me. And I was super confused because here you see Poe wearing the jacket, and then we've seen him previously wearing the jacket in this scene right here, and we can see him wearing the jacket while he's being tortured, and so then it's like, bam, wait, Finn has the jacket, standing on Jakku looking over the city, and then huzzah, Finn's wearing the jacket on Jakku for most of the movie, and you see Finn a lot with this jacket on. And then even once they get joined up together again, like after, Finn has escaped the First Order and has the jacket, and Poe goes wherever, who knows where, and they end up meeting again for the big resistance assault on the First Order, Finn kind of just keeps wearing the jacket, and even though Poe's still there, and he never gives it back. So that's one thing we haven't had the answer to. But this picture kind of clears things up with it. Maybe because Poe gives. This is where Poe gives Finn the jacket, is saying maybe you'll blend in better, on the surface. And so yeah. Now we move on to the TV spots that we've had. So the first new shot that we have is Rey overlooking the destruction of the palace on the jungle planet where they presumably meet up with Maz Kanata. So that is a pretty spectacular sight of a lot of explosions. But next one, we see Rey firing her blaster at none other than Kylo Ren in the forest, who we kind of get to see him use his lightsaber a little bit and deflect some of these blaster bolts, and he looks really awesome. So I'm super excited for his character because he seems really menacing, and I'm really curious to see how he uses his lightsaber, just so he avoids stabbing himself with the little side protrusions. Then we see Rey and Finn running towards a vehicle which is called the Quad Jumper, which then explodes shortly after. But this vehicle is now confirmed to be in the movie because previously we had seen concept art of it. You can see it here inside of what looks like to be the crashed AT-AT, which is possibly Rey's home, and we have some other things that have led us to believe that this fallen AT-AT is actually in the movie. But this picture here shows that the Quad Jumper, as seen in concept art, is now actually in the movie. Finally, we get a little bit more to add to the story of Finn escaping. We can see him flying away out of a First Order Star Destroyer with the explosions in the background, which we've kind of seen previously with a rogue TIE Fighter blowing up a bunch of stuff, and then him flying away and then going to his subsequent demise of crash landing onto Jakku. Then we move on to a very Han Solo moment where he hands Rey a blaster saying, "You'll probably need this," which is just a super awesome Han Solo moment, and we can see the Millennium Falcon in the background. Looks like they're on the jungle planet, so that means they're probably preparing for the big battle that happens there. This is the first time we get to see a lot of the Resistance members in the same spot. This is kind of just a scene where you kind of see all of the leaders of the Resistance gathered together. We've got Leia, who's in the center here with her back to us, and we got Han on the left, we got C-3PO, and then way over on the right, we've got Admiral Akbar, which is really awesome. And they're all gathered around some sort of holographic strategy table, probably discussing their next move on how they're going to defeat the First Order. Next off, we see Finn battling a First Order Stormtrooper with what looks like a electro staff. So that's very cool. And a lot of the theories about Finn, this is a spoiler alert, so quit watching if you do not want any possible spoiler theories on Finn, because this one's kind of a major one if you don't want to know it. But, so, spoiler cut off now. We'll continue talking about it. So what people have thought about is that the First Order troopers are trained in wielding lightsabers or these electro staffs, and so that is where Finn knows how to use the lightsaber, and he is actually not the Jedi of the movie, and Rey is the one that becomes the Jedi. But Finn is the one that just uses and wields the lightsaber because he knows how to use it, and because of his First Order training. That is it for this week. I hope you all enjoyed. Not a whole lot of news, but just some snippets of information. But I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all with our next news update for The Force Awakens. So may the Force be with you.